Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Spintwist Podcast. I'm your host, Jay from Spintwist Videos, and today I am joined with Spencer and Miko yet again. Today we're going to be talking about stuff. We're going to be talking about things.
That's what we're doing.
And
That's
first
pretty
off,
good, dude.
I just wanted to address the channel being deleted. For some reason today, of the day that we're recording, the new channel was just deleted, and we don't really know why. Another weird YouTube problem where they just deleted it for no reason. They sent me a notification saying that it was suspended for suspicious activity, whatever that means. They didn't specify what activity was suspicious. They just took it away. And when I went and tried to counter it and put a dispute in the middle of me disputing it, it just for some reason came back up, and we have no idea why.
Yeah, I just refreshed the page, and it was like, oh, it's fixed now, Jared. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah. Thank you, YouTube. You are so random and terrifying.
Yeah, for real. Are we leading with that topic, or are we just stating that we have?
Well, I don't really know. We don't. There's not really much
I
else
just
to
wanted
talk
to
about.
point it out. YouTube, why you gotta do this?
All right, you guys ready?
At least it wasn't like a big deal. At least they didn't actually keep it down.
Like if it stayed down, I would have been like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Heck.
Been a little mad.
If I actually had to fight for it, that would have been retarded because we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, first topic is school. Spencer, how do you think it should be done? How do you think students should be taught? What's wrong with school?
How do I think students should be taught? That's kind of a big question, because it's kind of hard to think of a different school system than what I've grown up in my whole life, where it's just kind of go to school, do your homework, get graded, and go to college,
Yeah.
We're just kind of what I've been taught to kind of go through with my life. And I'll be honest, I go to a school right now where they don't give out homework, and they kind of focus more around the schoolwork, and they're kind of more laid back. And I learned so much more in this school because it's actually enjoyable and the days go by quick. So I just kind of feel like maybe if they tried not to make it so much about actually worrying you, because when I got homework, I'd always worry about it constantly, and it's just
stress-free environment.
Yeah, and it stressed me out so much, and I just feel like it's really unnecessary, and I feel like I learned so much more, and it makes me actually want to go to school and do that kind of stuff. And I think that would be a really nice twist to school, and I think that most people would enjoy that more.
Do you have any thoughts, Jared?
Yeah, I actually really have problems with how the school system works, especially with high school. A lot of it is just centered around trying to get you to understand, or not trying to get you to understand. It's trying to get you to just have the right answer. It doesn't matter if you understand how you got the right answer. It's just as long as you got it right. You can get perfectly good grades, but not know anything. I can't remember what song it's from, but there's a line. I think it's a Kanye West line. Actually, says, "Some people graduate, but they still stupid." And it's really true, because people will just go through and just memorize the right answers, but they don't know why they're the right answers.
Yeah, and it's it brings to a way it's all about book smarts. It's how well you can look at something and copy it down onto paper, I feel like.
Do you feel like the high school diploma would be more considered a not lazy certificate rather than I'm smart certificate then?
I think the high school diploma is not that hard to get. It's just hey, you did average work. Good job.
What do you feel about that, Spencer?
I feel like it's kind of like that, but at the same time, it's just kind of it's here you go, you just went through 12 years of learning nothing. Now have fun with college, where all this stuff you didn't learn is just, now you actually have to do it all on your own. You have to look up videos on Khan Academy, which is stuff that's really nice to know, and you have to figure all this stuff out on your own that you didn't learn throughout high school. And so it's just kind of this is just me personally. I just feel like a high school diploma is it's a piece of paper saying, "Wow, good job, you wrote down stuff and got the right answers."
I mean, it's necessary, right, to get one still. But you're saying
It
that
is
it's kind
because
of
I mean, how far are you going to go nowadays without a high school diploma when there's so many people on this earth that have them? If you don't have one, you're way under, and you're going to lose out on so many opportunities you won't be able to.
hmm
Your chances of being able to get higher in the rankings it's just significantly lower. And I feel like it's not really something that matters too much, but it definitely matters, but in kind of like a thinking sort of way, it doesn't matter. Like if you're trying to, do you guys know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. I think I
it
understand
matters.
what you're saying.
Yeah, like so.
Um, My thoughts on it. Sorry, go ahead. Finish. Sorry. Okay.
I don't know. I was just gonna say. So it's like, it matters for your future because the government says it matters, kind
Okay.
of.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
My thought on it is it's like our kind of way in how we can't give education to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like, you know how in China or in other countries, where if you don't pass this test, oh, well, you're dropping out.
Yeah.
6th grade, you're dropping out. You know, we can't give you education if you're not smart enough to do it, or if you're too lazy to do it. And I feel like it's kind of that. It's our own way for that step where it's like, you need to be able to do all these 12 years to prove that you can go to college now. Does that make sense? Like, to prove that you can do these things, and that way we have like this sort of meritocracy where you have actually smart people doing stuff instead of people that actually shouldn't get a high school diploma doing things that would say like, yeah, I can do this because I have a high school diploma. But that has really kind of dumbed down because there's so many high school diplomas now to the point that it's like this it's so cheap. It's like it's washing it down, like, since there's too many. And that idea is actually transforming into bachelor's degrees. Like before, like, so many, like, it was very rare to have a bachelor's degree. Now it's like almost standard, to the point that if you want to even try to survive outside, you know, having a bachelor's degree is definitely going to make it a solid trip. And even then, not an easy trip, but a solid trip.
Well, yeah, it just comes down to the fact that there's so many more people on the earth every year that just the demand for getting more and more is just increasing at such a high rate, you know. And it's I think it's a problem, but at the same time, it's kind of like, what are you going to do about it? You know, you can't. There's nothing that you can do.
Adapt or survive. Like, you need to get smarter and work harder in order to do it. I can see that too. Yeah. Another thing too is I kind of agree with Spencer, especially when it comes to like AP classes for me, because when I have like an AP class where I have to do all this homework nonstop, it's incredibly stressful. Like, it's insane, like, how much work. And I know I'm kind of sounding like a crybaby, like, hey, I mean, kids do this all the time. It's like, well, yeah, but I still don't want to do this work. And this question,
those kids feel the same way. Those kids feel the exact same way too.
And
it's like no one's like, oh, more homework. Heck yeah, dude, give it to me. I mean, maybe there are somebody like that. I personally don't know anybody that is like that.
Well, and then there's my math class, right, where I have this AP calculus, and they give me an extra day to work on my homework and to understand what I'm learning, and it makes me love the class. I swear I'm doing so much better in that class than if I didn't. And I know it's like one extra day, but like, sure, shouldn't I be able to ask for another day from an AP class? Like, be like, hey, I want another class for this.
And that's
for yourself.
Yeah, I feel that too. Like in my math classes back in 10th grade, I didn't go to 11th grade, so I don't know how like it goes from then to then. But in 10th grade, I'd go to math class. They'd briefly teach us what we're supposed to do, and then they'd be like, "Okay, here's 2 pages of homework. Have fun doing it," you know.
Yeah, like,
and it's absolutely stressful. And then this year, and also I I do like. So I often wouldn't do my homework because like it would just stress me out and stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't really determined. I didn't have. It stressed me out so much to the point where I just didn't have the determination to get stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, since I don't get homework, the teacher focuses on trying to help us in the class and teaches. And now I get like 100% on almost all of my math classes, and it just helps me so much because I feel like I know everything. I feel like I'm actually learning stuff. I don't have to worry about leaving and then having to do it more and more, and it's a requirement. Like now I like doing math. Like sometimes I'll sit down and just double really big numbers, and it's just really fun, you know?
Yeah.
And when it's not forced on you.
Well, and I also feel like it's we're like education is also a confidence thing. If you feel confident in it, not too confident, but if you do feel confident that you can do well in school, then you go to school. Like that's how it works, you know. Definitely. Sorry for cutting you off, Jared. What did you think?
I was just gonna agree with Spencer. Like, a huge difference between my math classes in high school and here in college is like the teacher has really like, especially in this class that I'm taking right now, that I just finished because the semester just ended. The teacher like actually cared about us learning what we were doing and stuff. Like, she like we didn't move on until everybody like understood what we were like working on, and it wasn't just, oh, here's a test, try to do your best and stuff like that. And it makes it a lot more enjoyable when you actually like understand it.
One last thing that I want to say is my AP calculus teacher tells me that the No Child Left Behind idea, that its effect on students has started to move in on his classes. Like the generations or the students that were actually affected by that, they got this like his classes just disappeared. He went from 4 full classes.
So it's like keeping people back.
Yeah, he went from 4 full AP classes to 2 almost empty AP calculus classes. Yeah. And he feels like it's a problem that should be fixed. I mean, I'm not saying I know how to fix that, but I'm just saying it is a problem. Yeah. Any more thoughts? Are we good to move on next topic?
I think we've talked a good amount about that. I think we can move on.
Okay. Do you want to talk about games? Last time we talked about kind of the negative stuff we feel like about games. Do you want to talk about the good stuff, Spencer? Or Jared?
What do you mean?
The good stuff about games. What do you like about games, and what do you think is good about video games, if there is anything?
Good about video games. I think it's a huge deal if the people who are making the game are focusing more on it, like the actual game itself and its playability and how good of a game it is, and not the visuals. Like I see, especially with when No Man's Sky came out, everybody just hated it because they weren't. It was just all pretty much like visuals and like the idea that everybody was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good game, but then the actual playing it is just crap. Like nobody really liked it that much.
Yeah.
That was like a huge problem with the new Star Wars Battlefront 2. Like it looks amazing, and it's just not like as fun as the older Battlefronts though. Even though
it plays well for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, it gets old,
and then it's repetitive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just a popularity, something that was becoming popular, and I feel like we're kind of just running away from that now. Like for example, like Assassin's Creed, like those graphics, dude. That's almost why I played the game, and plus I'm stabbing people, you know. And I was like, man, dude, graphics will never get better than this. This is like real life, and then it got better, you know. Yeah. But now, like, I think that we're just coming back from, like, okay, like, good graphics, good for you, but I really want a good game still. And I think that companies they're starting to wobble because they need to fix that. Hopefully they'll get back on their feet. It'll be good.
Yeah, and it's like I'm gonna use Call of Duty as a reference. I use that. I'm gonna use that a lot because it just, for me, it was at a steady incline. It was getting good, and then like after Ghost, it just declined so fast for me.
Crashed, yeah.
And it's because they focus so much on trying to make it high tech and the graphics super cool, you know. And when you look back at like Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, COD 4, you know, you look at those and they don't have good graphics, but they're so fun to play. Like those games are absolutely insanely fun to play.
I
And
wonder
then you play
too
these
if... Go ahead,
new
sorry.
Call of Duties, and it's just kind of forced. They try and force the graphics on you, and it's just kind of like they focus on the idea more than the gameplay, I feel like.
I also wonder if they're just trying to make sure that they're making something new every game. And it's kind of just pushing them too hard to the point that,
Yeah.
like, that they're not making good games. Like, remember, like, people didn't like Ghost because of the change, and that's just the perk changes, you know? And I swear they just put that in there, just be like, hey, it's not better. I mean, it could have been that they thought it was better, but I'm pretty sure that they put it in there because it's like, it's new. It's a new idea, new
Yeah.
game. If it's not new, then people are going to get sick and tired of it. And I wonder if that's what they're getting antsy and pantsy about it. So they were like, you know what, might as well just keep making new stuff. And then, like, I feel like Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 3, like Black Ops 3 was just to make Advanced Warfare better. And then now we're going to get new stuff in this other game, the Infinite Warfare.
Yeah.
But
Is Infinite Warfare out yet?
isn't
Yes,
it?
I think it is.
Have you
And
played it,
it's-
Spencer?
I played the new zombie map, and it is so random. They just added so much completely random stuff to the. It's unbelievable how just much it does not feel like zombies.
Yeah, I was watching the trailer for that new, like, it was like them in an arcade or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
the
and
zombies in an arcade.
it's just the most random thing. There's like clowns, there's big alien things. It's just so. It's
Even
so
in Black Ops
forced.
3 is like that, dude. Like, I don't want to be fighting, screaming, rolling lasagna rolling
Yeah.
at me, dude. Like,
Yeah,
like, come on.
I
Like,
know.
I just, like, it's zombies. It's
I
not
want- I
zombies
want-
plus this and
I
this and
want
this.
the Derice feel. You know, I want.
Yeah.
Even like Origins, where they started like taking it a little too far, that was like to the point where it was still you're fighting zombies, you know.
Yeah.
But now it's just they just added so much stuff, and it's so random. And
I wonder if that's just, like, a complaint that older people have.
That's true.
Like, we're like, it's not like it, like we
It's not
play
like
it, and
the
it's
old
like, it's not like how we played it. And
yeah,
then
well,
a
yeah.
few years later, the kids that are playing Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare, they're going to be like, that's not how we played it to the new ones, you know, and it's just going to keep
Yeah.
going. But they're going to keep picking up people to
That's
the
a
point
fair
that
argument.
it's... I mean, I don't know. I can't see the future, but I
mean,
wonder if that's
like
just
just how it is though. Like for example, like we always get like mad when like older people are like mad at us for using technology and stuff like that. Like, oh, you just play video games all the time, and we're like, well, you didn't have that when you were your age and stuff, and like you
Yeah.
can't relate. But then I noticed that I get mad at the younger generation, like these 4-year-olds with iPhones. I'm like, you don't need an iPhone. I'm like, wait a second, I'm just being the exact same thing as the older generation.
Yeah,
So
that's
like,
true.
it's hard to not be biased.
It's
I
a
don't know.
It's a cycle because you put yourself above the people. Because everyone, you're like, I didn't have that when I was your age. I wasn't as privileged as you, and it just goes down to like, it's not fair, you know.
Well,
And I
that,
feel
and I
like-
feel like there's this natural thing that you're better than a 6-year-old,
Yeah.
you know? And it goes the same to old people to us, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you're better than younger people. And it makes sense. Like, you have experience and stuff, and they definitely see us as the entitled generation. We're born, so we have to do everything. And I'm not gonna lie, how many times I've heard people say, like my grandparents say, like, since people are giving trophies to every kid, even if they lost, it's causing all these problems. It's like, come on, like, I don't know.
Yeah, how is that actually a problem? Honestly, and like,
It's making
it-
too good of self-esteems. We don't.
yeah,
We don't need. We don't need self-esteem.
Yeah,
and it goes down to I forget, I don't know how to say his name. Israel's something. It goes down to in his "What a Wonderful World" thing, and he's like,
yeah.
what's it called? So, shoot, I forget what it says, but ultimately it's talking about like how he sees babies and how they'll learn much more than we know, you know, and that's actually how it is. Like we're just learning more and more, and we just kind of don't realize that when we're judging our younger generations. Like you don't realize that one day they could be the people who discover a way to get to Mars or stuff like that, you know. And it's just all these new discoveries. We don't realize that because we're just caught up in we're better than you. We're older. We've been here longer. You know? And
Because you see, like, you even see your younger siblings, like my little sister, right? Like, I personally, like, she's just my sister, you know? But I have no idea. She could grow up to be much smarter than I would. And I'm not going to lie, when I grow up and she's smarter than I am, I'm still not going to believe that she's smarter than me because I'm older than her.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it works.
It's just kind of, I understand that for sure.
Any more thoughts?
That was a huge tangent from video games.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's what podcasts are about, I guess.
Yeah. We good to go on the next one?
Yeah, we can move on.
All right, Jared, this is more towards you. Why is swearing offensive? Does it matter if it's offensive? What's going on there?
All right, so I think it's so stupid, the idea of swearing, honestly. Like, I think that they're just words. Like, obviously some words can be more hurtful than others, but like, especially the ones that have synonyms that aren't offensive. Like, I'm gonna swear, so watch out, okay?
Hide your parents.
The word ass and the word butt. They mean the exact
euphemisms.
Same.
Euphemisms.
Yeah, it's just
okay, whatever. Synonym,
it's something. It's something that we've taken to, like, we see the word and it just our society just makes it feel like for some reason it's just worse than the other word.
Yeah. And to me that just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's the same thing. I worked with people last year. They would just get so mad when you would swear. Like, they're like, "Don't say that, say but." Or like, if somebody would say shit, then they're like, "Don't say that, say poop or crap." I'm like,
Pretty
why?
much
It's the same thing.
Well, yeah, it's like the same idea. Like, I think it's funny that Brian's like, you can't say that, but he says frickin' fricks all the time. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brian, you're
Like,
probably
you're
watching
still
this.
meaning the same thing. Like, what makes that? I don't know.
And one thing that bugs me too is like, when like you'll swear and then okay, crap, I completely lost my train of thought. So
Go ahead.
Hold on.
If you have it.
You good? Can I save you?
I can take it.
Just take it.
Okay, so like, obviously these ones that have euphemisms or synonyms or whatever they're called, synonyms.
Cinnamons.
Like, I just don't understand why they're offensive words and why people get offended by them, and I just think it's really stupid. But like, obviously there are some words that are worse, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I wouldn't.
Like,
say that.
like the N word, the B word.
Yeah, those are words that originated.
Or
those
the
are words
F
that
word or
like
the C word.
those are words that are to degrade somebody. You know, the N word, slavery. It's degrading somebody, and that stuff is like not okay. But honestly, like, just words that like that are just there to just randomly be swear words. Like, I don't understand it for sure.
Well, another one too is our class. We're going over freedom of expression, and you can basically decide what things mean. So, like, our class has decided that flipping each other off means hello. So it's totally fine. It's totally fine just to flip each other off in the classroom.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of a cool way to, like, just kind of show that these things really shouldn't be bad. They're just kind of what society has deemed bad. And it's kind of when I think about it, it's like, not saying that, like, I'm gonna kind of relate this to religion, not trying to, like, bring it back, not saying that religion's fake or anything. But like, it kind of goes down to, like, you know, in the religion that I've grown up around is LDS, and with the commandments, you know, and it's kind of like, there's, you know, don't have sex before marriage, don't drink coffee. That kind of stuff is just bad, and then they deem it bad, and like to other people, it's not bad, and it's kind of like swearing in a way because it's like we're like they're like the society is like LDS, and they're saying it's bad. So when LDS members join in, they're like, oh, that's bad. We shouldn't do that, you know.
Well, the very basis of swearing is that it was poor people's talk. So,
Yeah.
like, that's why you say "but" because it used to be "Buttimus Maximus," right?
Gluteus.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Or you say like sexual intercourse. You say the F word.
Yeah.
Like it was just all the nobles and the high merchantmen. They were trying to communicate a lot like the French because that's who we traded with the most.
Mhm.
And so we picked up all these more complicated words from them. And then they left all these dirty words, and we're like, no, we can't say that. And we don't say that at the dinner table because we don't want to offend our merchantmen. And then it slowly became into these swear words, you know.
Yeah, and it came like you don't want to make yourself kind of look stupid.
Yeah.
And
You don't
in a
wanna
way,
look
I guess
poor.
I can see that. I
That's
don't
not what
think
it
that
is now,
swearing
though,
makes
is it?
anybody stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not.
I don't know.
They're not getting mad at you because you look stupid. They're getting mad because that is a word that offends me for some reason.
Well, like what I'm saying is, Miko, like you'll see
yeah.
dumb people that swear a lot. Like you'll
True.
see that, and they use it in like a way that's like kind of stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just because someone says like "fuck," like that
you,
doesn't make
you just
them.
don't want to
That
be
doesn't.
like those people. You want to represent yourself away from those people as much as you can. I'm not saying like if you do swear all the time that you are dumb. I'm just saying like I mean I swear and stuff, you know. But you
Yeah.
just when you're trying to show respect
That's true.
for others around you, or to show that you're like you can play with the cool kids basically around you, you don't swear. You don't act like.
And that just
poor
kind
dumb
of comes back to the main point, though. Like, why is swearing bad? Like I guess it's just because the origins, and it just kind of sticks around. You can't really change that. It's kind of like going back to last episode when we were talking about changing views. You know, you can't really change.
Or even I wonder if it's like similar to like how, like let's say like if the Germans, right, instead of like killing all the Jews, they made everything about them, the idea of them, really bad. So
Yeah.
like talking like them is bad. Having their accent is bad. And then eventually, over thousands of years, what would happen is that in German language, talking like a Jew would be kind of offensive.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just early beliefs just paved the way for so long, for so much and intensely. And I feel like it's just not something you can change too much. And it's
I feel like it's definitely conservative ideas, older conservative ideas that try and just stick around.
yeah.
Traditions and values that just hold in place for as long as they can. And, you know, who knows? Like, maybe our ideas later on, they'll be like, man, dude, these are more conservative ideas compared to what they thought, you know?
Yeah.
But,
That's
you
true.
know. Anything else?
I don't know, Jared, you got anything else you want to go over
I think
on that topic?
we hit it where I wanted it to be hit.
Okay.
Nice, mate. Okay. Smartphones or pets?
Oh, let's go smartphones.
Smartphones. Okay. Spencer,
Mm-hmm.
how have smartphones changed society?
Well, honestly, that's a pretty easy question. You know,
Yeah.
everyone and their mother has a smartphone nowadays, and it's because it's a way that you can easily connect with just everyone around you, and it's a way that you can. It's a way that you can kind of be social in a sense, and also it's kind of difficult to say that it's a way that you can be social because it's also a way that you can be antisocial. And so it's like I've heard something, I forget who his name is, but he's like a African American guy on Facebook that you see all the time. He's got some really good points. I love
Better not
watching
be
his
Prince
videos.
EA, because I hate that guy.
No,
It
I don't know. It
probably is.
might be. It probably is, but I like some of his views. And he says smartphones make us, or smartphones are to make us
More connected.
I forget, yeah, more connected, but they leave us less connected more than ever. And so it's kind of like it's true because you rely on sending the text, getting on Facebook and checking
Is
stuff.
that
You're not
bad?
like,
Do you think that's bad that you can instantly communicate with someone?
I think I think it's bad that we're not getting enough face-to-face connection. Like we're not, like if you want to like talk to somebody, you can just pick up your phone and just send them a text, and it's not really an emotional quick. But at the same time, it can be. You go into deep conversations with somebody, and it can be a really good way to articulate your feelings and
Yeah.
And make a
show
podcast.
emotion.
Make
Yeah,
a podcast.
exactly.
But
And
I mean,
so-
how many people do you know that make podcasts? I mean, not to like praise ourselves, but
Yeah, and like I'm recording this podcast on my smartphone, and so like it's so good at it's there's so many good things about smartphones, and then there's so many bad things about smartphones. So it's like it's kind of like a neutral thing that we can't imagine. I can't imagine like living without them now that I've had them for years. It's
Yeah.
just it's something that's become such a big part of my life with communication, and
I feel like a
can't
big
really
one
imagine.
is that now we have infinite amount of information at the
Yeah.
tip of our fingertips.
Yeah,
And
For
for
sure.
better, and it's for better or worse, like, and I
Goes
think
both
that it's
ways.
better in my opinion, and here's why. It's because books, right? I feel like back in the day when books were still a thing, coming out popular, people thought the same thing. They're like,
Yeah.
holy cow, information at my fingertips, and they thought it was all good and stuff, but you could also be an introvert and you just stay home and read all day.
Yeah,
Or another one is propaganda. And that's, now that you've got books and newspapers, you can just have all these people read your garbage or you read your stuff.
yeah,
And when you read it, you get this propaganda propaganda, right? And it's even more on the internet. So at the internet, if you use it right, yeah, it's like books. It makes you smarter. But at the same time, you got to make sure that you're not getting convinced for someone else's needs or for someone else's benefits. You got to try and make it your own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So with my English teacher was kind of giving a rant on how he kind of felt about this, and he was saying, with smartphones, you can kind of filter out everything you don't want to hear, like all your opinions that you don't want to hear. You can just filter all that stuff out. Someone says something you don't like, you can block them and get them out of there. And so you're kind of just sitting on your own opinions completely at some point, and that can be really, really bad because you don't have any way to communicate. You don't have any way to learn because you're just sitting in what you already think in this kind of area.
I don't know on that one because you can also refuse to talk to people about things.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that it's like bad to not refuse to talk to people. I'm just saying it's if you're trying to like learn it's just like a way that you can. It's like a missed opportunity on learning in some ways, I think.
You can say it's a missed opportunity, but I'm gonna be the optimist here and say that I'm glad that I have the opportunity. I'll take the opportunity over people missing that opportunity, because before, I feel like they're gonna do the same thing, even then that they did before, and that they would refuse to talk to people about certain subjects because they don't agree with them, right? But it's still good that we have that first opportunity. Like I feel like I'll take that over
Yeah,
not
and
even
it just
having the
goes again,
opportunity
like what
at
I'm
all.
saying. Yeah, it just goes again with what I was saying earlier. There's so many good things, there's so many bad things, just about everything when it comes to internet and the way smartphones are used nowadays,
Mhm.
and it's just it's just so diverse.
Yeah, I
Just
think it's going to be a
everything
funny
about
thing to say to like if someone came from the past to their future now, right? Like 100 years ago, someone travels to now, and they're like, what? Look at this! You can access the internet and have all the information that you ever wanted. What do you do with it? And you say, I watch porn. like that's literally what we're gonna tell them. Like,
yeah, that's
like
true.
that's what, and it's just gonna. It's like, it's kind of disappointing, but I feel like it's still cool, and I think it's still better that we have the option.
Yeah.
It sucks
so
that the
like
option. Yeah, go ahead.
It looks like we're running a little low on time, so I think we should just get on with this next subject. With which should we just talk about pets since we were going to do it last time?
Sure.
This time.
We can do pets.
So I brought up this kind of topic, and it's like, Miko, why do you think that like pets exist in our lives? Why did we just take like something just out of the wild and just try and make it ours?
Well, first of all, animal husbandry. We did it for cows so we could have food.
That's true.
And then, like, I don't know, you could say, like, the old, like, wolves thing, and they became our pals, and they were actually useful, and then later on, now we like them because they're cute.
Mm-hmm. What kind of made that shift from them being useful to us to them just being, friendly, cute to us? We just enjoy.
I feel like that's pretty. That's
from
much more
them being servicing food.
I feel like that's much more recent because after like this industrial revolution and a lot of the public having a decent amount of money, where we like almost everyone owns a home and property, and they can buy all the food that they want, and starvation, like here in America, like starvation is like just almost gone. But I'm not saying it is gone, I'm just saying it's almost gone. And it just makes it so like there's this market for cute things,
Okay, I feel you. And I kind of have a question that kind of pertain. I'm going to ask Jared this question. I want to kind of know about his views on it. Why do you think, or do you think that having animals is kind of like a cruel thing? Like taking animals out of the wild? Like I'm specifically, like dogs and cats, like where are you going to find wild dogs and cats anymore? I'm not really specifically talking about them, but I'm talking about like in the pet trade where it comes to reptiles and stuff, trading them. Do you think it's cruel taking them out of the wild and giving them to people who are just going to throw them into cages and stuff like that?
I think there's a point like where you can draw a line where yes, it is like we shouldn't be doing that, and then another point where it's like these animals, they don't even know how to survive in the wild. I don't exactly know where to draw that line, but I think yeah, eventually there is a point where we shouldn't be putting them in cages because that's kind of screwed up. They're not supposed to be domesticated.
Yeah, and there's actually a big thing too. That I'm actually a reptile owner. I love reptiles, and there's a thing going around, or it goes around a lot, where many wild caught animals are put into the pet trade, and so I think that there's like a fine line between animals that are bred in captivity and then animals that have been taken out of the wild where they thrive and survive and thrown in cages. And so I think it's like, to a point, it's just kind of like a selfish need for kind of something more. I don't know. This could just be me, but like more entertainment, I guess. It comes down to selfish need where we're taking another life out of something and making it to fill our
They're objectifying them.
Yeah, I think there definitely are like times where we should not be doing that because these things, we're just destroying these animals' lives for our entertainment. Like a bunch of the stuff at SeaWorld, like so many
definitely.
of them like just do not deserve to be in cages. It's just not good for them at all.
Well, don't they usually take in things that are sick? Isn't that like the law? They have to be sick.
If that's the case.
They do that. But at some point, it's like, how far can you take that, really? Like, oh, this animal, he had a hurt wing, so we took him in and brought him here for the rest of his life where he can sit in the cage, So it's like, I that's why I like animal like care shelters where they just kind of like help them, release them back in the wild. And I don't really think that like putting them into a zoo when they're hurt is a good thing because that can stress out animals a lot, you know.
Yeah.
And I volunteered at the Hogle Zoo for like a few weeks, and I like it. It's good because it's a good way for entertainment. But at the same time, if you think of some of the animals there, it's just not good conditions for them, especially when you go into like the reptile rooms that they have there, and it's just they're sitting in a cage for their whole life. And I'm guilty of this. I every like so often I think, why do I have these reptiles if they're just sitting in a cage, getting fed, just on a schedule? Could you imagine like actually completely getting fed on a completely set schedule, like once a week? And
Yeah.
I guess we kind of are like that, but we have variety, I think, to it. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird, and it's kind of cruel. I think.
I almost wonder too, though. Do you think it's like, is it a human thing, where it's like we demand options and choice? Because if we don't get options and choice, if we don't get freedom, then it's torture.
Yeah,
Do you think
it's kind of
that
like
to animals too?
I don't know. I don't really think it applies to animals. I think it's kind of like a human instinct to kind of take something in and make it so you're like sacrificing something else, sanity for your. It's like you take in. You're like you want to feel like you have power over something, so you take in something and you just completely take its life away to kind of help your own. It's good. But at the same, I mean, it's bad. But at the same time, like it just kind of depends on how
Yeah.
what is captive bred stuff, or if you're taking something straight out of the wild. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I haven't really gotten into reptiles. Go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna start wrapping this up as we're hitting 42 minutes. Is there
Do you think,
Hey.
anything y'all
Okay,
want
wait.
to finish with?
Miko? Do you think that fly thing you were talking about? Do you think would be
No.
a long topic? Or
Yeah, that's gonna be for
save
next
it?
time.
Okay, we'll save it.
Soon come. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been good discussion. Good points been brought up. Hope you
Oh,
enjoyed it.
yet again, one more time. Yet again, we're missing an Indonesian boy.
The Jap?
We're missing our Indonesian Danny boy. And hopefully he's listening to this crying because he wasn't part of the discussion.
Yeah, hopefully, dude.
Yeah.
I hope you're jealous, Daniel, because we're not jealous that you're not. But
No, but we really miss you, Daniel. Come back.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening yet again, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh yeah, and also guys, if you want to leave any comments for us, just saying like how we did, or if you have any ideas for us, just be sure to just leave it down in the comments section below, and we will talk about it in the next podcast. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So like any topics that you guys have, just throw them down there, or opinions. Just don't be afraid to throw them down there because we want to read what you guys want. Be able to improve on that and add it to our podcast. So
So yeah, be sure to let us know. We'll see you next time.